twist. Still alive. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Plot Twist, Still Alive. I am your hostess with the mostest, chaos navigator, and 3-time cancer survivor, Crystal with a K. Don't get it wrong. It's with a K always. Welcome back, guys. I'm so glad you're here. You guys are some loyal bitches. That's what I'm talking about. So today on Plot Twist Still Alive, you know we cover that deep, dark, heavy shit. And I just want to warn everybody, this is a trigger alert. We are talking about abusive relationships. So if this is something you've experienced and you feel like it may be triggering to you, obviously I do not want you to listen. That being said, if you need somebody to relate to, or even just to know maybe what the signs are and the red flags are, I really encourage you to listen to this. We are going to use dark humor throughout. That's what we do here. I want to introduce this beautiful, incredible, stunning woman with this sexy ass hair. Her name is Abby. Say hello to everybody, Abby.
Hey.
Hey, girl. Hey. Thank you so much for joining me.
Well, thank you for having me. And also my stunning hair, courtesy of a TikTok haircut.
Yeah, you had a moment.
I did. Full moon.
Enough said. In a home haircut later. You can't tell, though, because of your curly, stunning locks.
That's what I think so. Yeah. I think it looks great, honestly.
I do, too.
Feels good. Looks good.
I think you always
I'm here
good.
for it.
Yeah. One thing I haven't done yet, which I really want to do, is give a killer kindness moment. Killer kindness moments are basically, there's a lot of hard, heavy shit in the world, but just like telling a quick, like maybe this week or within the last couple weeks or even today, something random that either you did or somebody else did that is really kind and beautiful and kind of gives you that fucking faith back in humanity. You know what I mean? One of mine would definitely be an event that we just helped with.
Yeah.
It showcased how beautiful our community is. And we helped raise a lot of money for a nonprofit here in town that actually helps people that have children that are facing life-threatening diseases, all sorts of things, including actually helping with their funeral, and their bereavement program covers that and has somebody with you walking side by side with the parents. Losing a child, I can't even imagine, but it's always beautiful to help with things like that. You and the other people that are part of this community, I'm just so fucking proud of having really amazing, beautiful, giving people. And we raised a ton of money for them. It will basically cover all of next year for their entire year for their program. So
yes. So preliminary, we're thinking around 30,000 was raised, but for sure, this community never ceases to amaze me. Like just the way that we step up for each other, and in a world where we see much more of the negativity going on, seeing our actual neighbors, and people that we are living in this community with coming together for somebody in need is always really beautiful to me. I was so touched to be a part of that event. My feet hurt so much the next day, but my heart was really full.
My heart was full. My feet felt like shit. Carrying that heavy ass heart around like the Grinch grew 4 sizes that day.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I guess we kind of shared our killer kindness moment this last week.
Yeah. Well, I always love a random compliment too.
Oh God, same.
Last week I had somebody just come up to me and just say like, "Oh my gosh, I love your shirt." I don't even remember what shirt I was wearing. It was a total stranger in a store, and I always think like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much for saying that." And I try to do that too. If I see someone and I'm like, "Love your outfit," or "Love your smile," or "Love your eyes," or whatever, I'm like, "Girl, look at those long eyelashes. You go."
I'm the same, because I think for so long, and not to like completely go into the topic yet, but like when you're in a shitty relationship and when people compliment you, you're like, no, they can't, that can't be it. They're not complimenting me. I'm not pretty. I don't have nice hair. And so I don't even hold back, because I remember when people gave me those compliments, like immediately saying no. And now I embrace them and I'm like, thank you. I look at them in the eyes. Sometimes I'll even grab them or touch them. And I'm not a touchy-feely person, but I'll be like, no, genuinely, thank you. Yeah. And I think for other people, it makes their day, because it does for me.
Me too.
So I love that. Keep doing that shit. So if you haven't, give somebody a fucking compliment today. God, it's not that hard. It's for free.
It costs nothing.
Yeah. And make sure it's real. Don't just like pick some bullshit out and be like, hey, I really like that. Your one eyebrow is symmetrical with that other one. It's
cool
fine.
Slit.
It's really nice. Your breath doesn't smell today. So fantastic. Well, let's get into this. So I do have to go ahead and clarify. I am not, nor is Abby, unless she's hiding some secret from me.
No.
We are not psychologists. We cannot tell you that somebody has something, a disease, a personality disorder. We are not equipped or fit for that. But what we are going to do is share some things from experiences that her and I have both had to kind of pinpoint, even if it's not necessarily narcissistic personality traits, because there are a lot of different ones. Bottom line, they're red flags, and you should really reevaluate your relationship. And if you're the person listening to this and you think, holy shit, this is about me, I highly suggest you go see a psychologist and get some help. And if you want me to, if you want to write me like a shitty email or message or her, go ahead. I'll read it on my podcast. You'll love that. But most people who are either narcissists or have personality disorders like this, there's such a small percentage that actually get help and actually get diagnosed because they can't take personal responsibility. In fact, they live in kind of an altered view of reality, essentially, and they make others who are with them live in it with them. I want to commend you for talking about this because I know what it's like. I won't dive into mine just yet. I think that should be its own episode when I kind of ready to talk about it more. But I also want to make it clear, this isn't about dragging anyone. This is about you surviving a really difficult abusive relationship, specifically mentally abusive. So many people downplay what mental abuse does. Well, at least he doesn't hit me. Well, at least he hasn't hurt me physically. Well, at least he doesn't hurt my kids. And that is such bullshit.
Yeah.
The mental trauma that comes along with this, the self-doubt and the years of therapy and help that you need to basically move forward with your life and be healthy, it's still scarring. It's still damaging and can affect your entire life. And even your future relationships, your belief in yourself, so many things. You lose yourself in these.
100%.
So know you're valid. I love you. I see you. Anyone who's listening, please know you're valid too. And it still is abuse, even if it's not physical.
And you're not alone.
And you're not fucking alone. We're right here, girls. You can write us too. And we won't read it out loud unless you give us permission, okay? But I want to start from the beginning. People have often, with this experience with these types of people, they often have this beautiful meeting story or this swept off your feet kind of feeling. Yeah. So go ahead and tell me. We'll call them Arthur.
So Arthur and I met, well, I should say Arthur knew my mom first.
Okay.
They had met on a church trip. I'll say that.
Okay.
So
he's already in because he's in church.
Yes. And there was a very high opinion of him in my family. And I had never met him before. I had heard about him, but I was gone. Like I was at school, I was traveling, and I moved back home and started working next door to my mom, where my mom worked. So one day after work, I just walked over to her building, and he happened to be there serving for the church. It just was all the like, oh, we just so happened to be at the same place at the same time.
It was just meant to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I was sitting in my mom's swivel chair with my back facing the door. And of course, my mom sees him and she's like, oh my gosh, you have to come meet my daughter. And so he's standing in the doorway and my mom's like, Abby. And I swiveled around, and yeah, exactly.
Like
so
Dr. Evil,
more like,
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So that kind of interaction at first, it was just out of a movie. You think. Right.
A horror movie. Soon to find out.
Plot twist.
This shit was horrible.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I swivel around and we make eye contact and we meet, and it's this immediate, well, I have to help with this thing I'm volunteering for at the church, but after this, would you like to go grab something to eat? And I'm interested. We stayed out talking. We closed down that restaurant, just talking. It all seemed so happenstance and, we're clicking right away, and pretty typical. You're opening up, I'm opening up. Like, I can't believe we're meeting each other. Like, this is happening. And I was young.
Well, and men don't typically, now I know, share really private, personal things, especially like traumas and stuff.
For sure.
They're usually layered, and it's like kind of put in a box you kind of have to dig to get to, or they just don't talk about it at all. So when a man opens up emotionally, you're like, holy shit, I've hit the jackpot. Like, this person's different than anyone else I've ever met. And you also trust that they're opening up to you. So you do the same. You're like, I can trust this person because they trusted me. Mm-hmm. And so it kind of creates like this full sense of safety and support.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But you don't know that.
Yeah.
Because you're just falling in love.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, he's volunteering for the church. How bad can he be?
It's going to be great. Everyone with the church is fantastic. Not one person has ever been hurt by a church member ever in life. It's dripping with sarcasm, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was our meeting. And it was kind of like we hung out every day after that. Where do you work? Let me go drop off stuff to you at work.
So he would bring you gifts.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like what? Like, did he do like over the top type of things where it was like flowers or?
Oh yeah. I mean, it was the coffees. It was, I remember your favorite food. I remember your favorite order here. I remember you mentioned that you like this boutique. Let me bring you a gift from this boutique. It was all of those things.
And all of this sounds like a dream to most people.
Yeah. Let me go take you shopping. I mean,
just dropping money. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All sounds very dreamlike.
Yeah, the lavishing.
Yeah. Well, what we know that it's called now is love bombing is
Correct.
what it's called.
Yeah.
That's what was actually happening to you, but unbeknownst to you, right? What did this time frame look like? Like, how quickly did you feel like or how quickly did this move?
I mean, we met, and I think it was like 7 days later, we were at a concert together. VIP tickets to this concert, whatever it was. Like, we were right by the stage,
Wow.
Very quickly, we were dating.
Right.
We met, and then all of a sudden, like, I had a boyfriend.
Okay. All right.
I mean, very fast. Everything from that moment was very, very quick.
What did it feel like in the beginning, though, to have somebody show you all of that, buy you those things, be so like obsessed, but in a seems like a really great way at the time?
I guess I felt very seen. It all felt meant to be. Mm-hmm. Everything just felt so fairy tale. I think I had romanticized what that moment would be like when I met
the one.
Yeah. It seemed to check all the boxes. And now looking back, I can be like, some things I was trying to justify, or I was trying to make them into something they weren't. But in the beginning, before I saw any of the red flags or anything like that, it just felt this was the moment that I had waited for and fantasized about since being a little girl. Whenever you're like, oh, what's it going to be like when you meet your Prince Charming? It was all of those things, all the beautiful experiences and the compliments and just being known. I felt known. Somebody who was taking the time to get to know me and really speak to those parts of me that were special.
Well, and I would imagine that because, again, like we said, he gave you that safety. You probably opened up about all the things you wanted, all the things you were looking for. And you basically told him, this is the blueprint exactly of who I want. So what's crazy is that you said, before I saw the red flags, let me stop you right there. Mm-hmm. Love bombing is a red flag.
Oh, yeah.
And so many people, but like why would you question it, right? Like, this is what you've been waiting for, especially if you've had, like, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I know I did. You have in the past, like, shitty relationships, or you even like maybe came from a house where there was like dysfunction. You're like, holy shit, it's not too good to be true. Here it is right in front of my eyes, but that is a red flag. And so a lot of people are like, whoa, I'm getting all these things, but those things don't last forever either. No. The consistency is key. So I'm not saying that there aren't amazing people out there to treat you well, but this all comes, like, there are phases with being with somebody who is like this. So that's just the first one. Usually the relationship moves rather quickly and it gets deep quick. There's I love yous fast. And before you know it, you're moving in together and together forever, potentially planning your future family and all that. So what did that happen to you?
Yeah, we moved in together very quickly. This sounds crazy, but whenever we met, I was living with my sister. She had a room that was like in her basement, but it was a room.
Yeah. No, it doesn't sound crazy. I've lived in people's basements.
Like, I was living in my sister's
attic.
basement.
It's better than the attic. Fuck.
Was I the creep? I'm in a basement. But yeah, I was living with my sister in her basement bedroom. It became this situation of like, oh, you can't live in a basement. You can't do that. Like, I have a whole house.
It was a full renovated
house,
but I'm sure it was great. Your sister seems very high class.
It was totally fine, but it was just this. He made me feel like, oh, I have to get you out of there. Come live with me. Come stay with me. 3-bedroom house. Blah blah blah. So I moved in.
How many months?
Maybe a month. Oh. I mean, I'm telling you, everything was.
Girl, I'm not judging.
Fast,
I get it.
Fast. It was crazy. Again, now looking back, it's like, why did I do that?
Pump the brakes.
But it all seemed meant to be. And
he had already jumped through the hoops of like, he already had all these people you knew through the church and your family, your mom.
Yeah.
So like, if they didn't see it and you didn't see it, did anyone fight you on it? Was your family like, maybe don't do that?
My parents weren't a big fan of us moving in together.
Okay.
They didn't necessarily feel like that was the right thing. And my best friend from all of childhood, she definitely saw some signs before I did and recognized some things before I did. Even her parents were like, "What are you doing? Like, not it. Why are you okay? Wake up, you know?" But I didn't listen. I didn't listen to any of that. And everything was like, well, yeah, I don't know him like I do type of scenario. And again, if your best friend,
if she's really your best friend,
hey, maybe not, just pay a little bit more attention, because not to skip too far ahead, but closer to, us getting more serious, my best friend, I barely talk to her. That's part of the tactic.
Yeah. So why you can't have anyone else in your life except that person.
Yeah.
So
well, yeah. They have to isolate you. Otherwise people
how can they control you?
Exactly.
Duh. Don't be fucking stupid. Obviously.
Yeah.
What were their previous relationships? Friendships included. Friendships, long-term relationships. What did those things look like whenever you had those conversations? Because these are very important conversations to have with people. Like, have you been in a long-term relationship? Because let's be honest, if I've met a man and he's in his 30s, right? And this obviously maybe wasn't y'all, and he hasn't been in any sort of long-term committed relationship at any point, that to me is a red flag. But there's also the opposite, where if every person they've been with is always the problem and they can't say anything they did is the problem, that's a huge red flag to me too now. What do those conversations look like for you guys?
Now looking back, there was a lot of lies. There was a previous relationship that he had that was more serious. I heard some things about that relationship from him that now I know not to be fully true. But most of that story was like, we just couldn't make it work, or just enough where I would be like, that's interesting. He would always tell me, I used to have an anger issue.
Okay.
Here's how I expressed that in that previous relationship, which was just one very tiny, tiny story that I could kind of say, well, that wasn't too bad.
We've all had our things. So again, it makes it relatable. You're like, I've gotten mad, I've yelled, I've thrown something.
Exactly. So I was just kind of like, okay, well, that explains that.
And that's just enough for him to seem human too.
Exactly.
You're like, oh, he's flawed. I'm flawed. We're people. Crazy.
Oh, and he's worked through that. Wow.
What a saint.
He's so good.
He's also with the church.
Let me just reiterate.
Winning.
Yeah. So what a volunteer. So yeah, I was always like, well, I used to have this, or I used to struggle with this, but I've worked through those things.
Did it make you view the people that he was with previously in a different light? Like, you believed him, I assume. You always believe them, right? You want to believe him.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, she was 100% the problem.
Right. And so it made you less likely to want to talk to that person or reach out to that person, or
right. No, I was, oh my gosh, I would have never imagined even, I don't think at that point in my life I would have even done something like that, to reach out to them, to be like, hey, what was your experience? Again, I was very young. I was in my early 20s.
Okay.
So,
the naivety.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Which is so cool when you're young. Like, that's actually a gift to have naivety in your early 20s, to not see the world as it is. But unfortunately, this type of situation changes the way you view everyone and everything, including yourself, sometimes permanently.
Yeah. And he totally preyed on that.
Absolutely.
He was older than me too, so he definitely preyed on the fact that I was naive about things.
That's because women his own age probably stopped allowing. No, I mean that.
They were probably like, loser.
Yeah. No, straight up. So they go for young people that are easily influenced. It happens a lot. We legitimize all of these little things that, looking back, you're like, no, actually, they're older. They should have been a lot more established. They should have had a lot more going for them. And instead, to us, it was endearing because they're human.
Yes.
So when did that fucking honeymoon phase, when did that stop?
I remember very clearly the first one. I don't remember what exactly the situation was, except for that something made him mad. In come the anger issues. And we were pulling up to the house and he was already screaming in the car. He walked into the house first and literally closed the door, like, in my face, and kind of smacked me on the head. But I was like, oh, that was an accident. He didn't mean to do that. But he was very much like, don't talk to me, don't talk to me, don't talk to me. And I know that some people, they need to cool off. Just so you know, there's a way to do that in a relationship and to communicate.
I need a minute.
and to say, I'm going to come right back to you. Because if people have abandonment issues and you love that person and you're trying to be in a relationship with that person, you have to communicate that. I need some space for a second, but I'm going to come right back. That was not this.
Does it sound like I'm that person? I need a few minutes. I need to like decompress, because sometimes I realize it's just me. I'm mad about nothing. It's not even him. I'm just having a day, and I need to take a step back and say that. And healthy people communicate that. Correct. They don't slam doors and all of that. And their significant other doesn't have to make an excuse for why a door hit them in the face, because that should never be happening.
Yeah. So then I, of course, go into, I'm totally triggered, and I don't realize that's what it is at the moment. You know, there had been little things leading up to these moments that I think I started going into the crazy spiral. Like I was like, I'm insane. Like I think by that point, the chemicals in my brain are already changing.
Right.
And I freaked out and I went into the closet to cry, because that's,
I mean, I cry in the shower, in the car. Closet seems fine.
I mean, now I look back and I'm like, poor me, I was probably looking for safety, but I went into the closet and I start crying. And then of course he comes and he's like opening the closet door. What are you doing in here? You look crazy. Why are you crying in the closet? Like, what's the matter with you? And I'm like, what's the matter with me? You were just screaming at me.
Did you feel crazy then?
100%. I was like, yeah, this is crazy. Why am I crying in the closet? I am crazy. I mean, yeah, I definitely started to bite. I was believing what he was saying. You act this way and it makes me act this way. You do this and it makes me do this.
So you're the reason he is angry. You're the reason
I was totally.
And you deserved
100%.
it, basically,
yes,
is what he's saying.
Yes. And the second time was another outburst, and we had a special event going on that morning, and I didn't like the shoes that I had for the special event. So I wanted to go get new ones. And I was like, hey, I really want to go to Payless because I want to find different sandals for my dress. And oh my gosh, you would think I had asked if we could go to the moon that day. I mean, it was so inconvenient. Like, you always do this. You always it. And I'm such an inconvenience at this point. And I'm very confused. But of course we go, and the whole time, like, he's in a bad mood, he's angry and all of these things. And we get back home and he's literally throwing my stuff out of the house. Yes. Like, he's throwing my stuff at the car, screaming. I couldn't tell you what he was saying over sandals.
Wow.
And so I called my big sister, and she sent some people to come pick me up. I told her I'm driving down to the gas station down the road. I'm just going to wait there in my car because I couldn't drive. I was a wreck. I was so confused at this point.
Well, you're talking about a person that was sweeping you off your feet, what, a few months ago, less than a year ago?
Oh, yeah. That was within 6 months' time.
Yeah. So the fucking mask is off now because now he's got you. You're moved in together. You've moved out of your sister's house. Now you're dependent on living in a place with him where you probably signed a lease or did whatever. And he can treat you however the fuck he wants. And so the devaluation starts, which is another step in all of this. But something else that you had said that I think is important is that your brain chemistry changes. So a lot of people don't realize this, but specifically with narcissists, but it can happen obviously with other abusive relationships. The putting you on a pedestal and the love bombing and then the devaluation, and essentially your brain starts having similar chemistry to somebody who's an addict. You get addicted to the highs, but there's all these lows in between. And so you become attached. This is what an actual trauma bond is. So when I'm like saying, oh, we're trauma bonders, I give that fucked up thing, I make it light. You and I, we talk about hard shit and we bond over it. But a real trauma bond is that it's the chemical thing that makes you attached to this person. So when people later down the road are like, why did you put up with it? Or why would you do this? You're addicted to that. Yeah. You're addicted to the highs because you're like, no, but they do this right or they do that right. And that's what your brain focuses on. So when you leave, it's like someone stopping using drugs that they're addicted to. It's the same feeling. And we'll get to that when we get to that part of this. But I just wanted to hit on that because you even said like the chemicals in my brain. So clearly you fast forward, you had to do a lot of counseling, therapy, and reading, I'm sure, to figure this out.
100%.
So your sister sends someone to get you and you leave for that moment. And what happened?
He showed up where I was and he apologized and he was real sorry. So I went back, Yeah. And I did that.
And it'll never happen again.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and it always came with some big,
grandiose.
Yes. Big. It wasn't a small apology. It was a big apology. after those two incidents, those were two of the bigger ones. And I had a friend, I called him and he was like, you got to go. Like, you have to leave. And I told him, I said, I'm finally ready. Like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to leave. I kid you not. That day that I was like, I'm leaving. And this was probably, 2 months after that last big episode. And again, there were small,
sandal escapade.
Sandals, not the kind of, not the resort.
No, pay less ones.
Sandals, Jamaica. No. Pay less.
Pay less sandals. Guys, we have to laugh so we don't cry. I know this is fucking crazy.
Yes. Here we are. It's just I definitely have to laugh about it now. Same. At some points. Otherwise, I'm gonna go into a mental breakdown and start punching things. But
it's an anger problem, but it used to be, not now.
I've worked through it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that day, I thought, I'm gonna start packing my stuff. I'm getting out of here. And he gets home from work, and he has an envelope for me. And I open up the envelope, and it's 2 plane tickets
to Sandals.
To Sandals, Jamaica. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry.
New Sandals.
You walked right into it. It's 2 plane tickets where?
To California.
What?
I'm really sorry. I know I've been really horrible these last few months, and I really want to make this work. And surprised me with a trip to California.
And you went?
Yeah, I did.
Was that trip just fantastic and perfect?
Yeah, the trip was wonderful. I mean, we stood at the end of a huge rock on one of the beaches and saw our initials carved into the rocks with the heart around it. I mean, it was just like, it was swiveling around in the chair all over again. It was like, oh, this is meant to be. We're just going through a rough patch.
And then what? And then it got so much worse, I bet.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the abuse escalated for sure.
Well, he got away with it.
Yeah, after that moment, those were 2 big outbursts that happened during, a 6-month period of us meeting, maybe even 5 months. And then that was month 9. We went to California, and then fast forward a few months and we were fully in it,
Yeah.
Like me and you. I'm not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. Like it's us. And the mental abuse escalated, the emotional abuse escalated, financial abuse too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Major thing. Again, I'm super naive. I don't know a whole lot about a whole lot. I went from living with my parents. I went to school for 2 years. I moved back and moved in with my sister. I mean, what do I know about?
Hey, you lived in a basement.
Yeah. I was in a basement when he found me. So
No, but you're just a normal early 20 young woman.
Yeah. And I was going through health issues when I was 19 or 20 at this point. I don't remember how old I was. I'd have to really go back, but they really couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I mean, I think he really thought, man, this chick is real broken.
Right.
She's going to need me. Like, where could I go? Or he's going to make me feel like I couldn't go anywhere.
Well, I want to add to that. I believe that, yes, that could be used as ammunition towards you for sure. But the truth is, people like this are actually attracted to the empathy and the strength that you have because they know that you're a caring, compassionate human, that you don't want to give up on them, that you love wholeheartedly with everything. Because it's not because you're broken. You're not. It's because you're a strong, beautiful, giving person. And they prey on that too. In fact, to be honest, I think that it's more enjoyable for them the stronger you are.
Yeah.
Because they need that. They need fuel. And if it is a narcissist, they need narcissistic fuel. And so to break someone that's so strong and just tear them down and have that control, that has to be like such a high for them. You know what I mean? So do not ever just think that he preyed on you because, quote, you seemed broken. That's not the fucking case. You are a beautiful, strong, one of the strongest women that I've ever met. And those are the types of women I have on these podcasts, and men. I don't want you to ever just say that. So, and just because we're flawed and we're fucked up and we have bad things, that's just ammunition. They were manipulating you with the knowledge that you gave them in trust, and then they used it as tool to hurt you.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, because I think there was definitely things I had to open up about that he used to make me feel small and make me feel, broken. And it always came back to that. Well, you're crazy because remember you told me you went through this and this. And so that now that's made you flawed in this way. And so now it's your fault. everything was always my fault.
Well, that's gaslighting.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is. It's used just like narcissist and gaslight. It's used all the time. Oh, you're gaslighting me. Oh, he's such a narcissist. And unfortunately, because it's overused,
It's watered down.
people don't realize what it actually looks like. This is what it looks like. This is what gaslighting is. When someone cannot take personal responsibility, they twist the story onto you. They may be guilty of something and they completely turn it to where you're the one that's guilty for the same. They basically make it you. You're the problem. You're the one that's jealous. You're the one that's mean. You're the one with the anger problem. That's how that looks.
Yeah. Well, and I definitely saw myself changing as the relationship went on. I was a version of myself I did not recognize. And there was a time where, you know, we went from house to apartment to other place we lived to other house we bought. And it seemed that at each place we went, again, it just got worse and worse and worse. I mean, there was times where we would have an argument, and I remember one time he started running away from me and I like grabbed him.
Yeah.
Like I was like, don't run away from me, you know? And I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's so not me. But and there was another time I screamed, like I literally screamed, I hate you.
Yeah.
I hate you. And when it came out of me, even I kind of sat back because we were in the car, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't keep doing this. I'm going to turn into somebody I don't like. And even though he had done other things to me that definitely warranted me feeling that way,
you were reacting
I was
to what he was doing,
100%.
which is another form of abuse, though. It's
100%.
It's called reactive abuse.
Yes.
And then when you do that, now they have to use to say, look at what you said.
You hate me.
You're the worst person in the world.
Yeah.
Look at you. You grabbed me. You were physical with me, and it's twisted into something else. And you grabbing him again. The difference between you and somebody like that is that you acknowledge that that wasn't right, or that wasn't you, and that you don't want to be that person. People that are like this, the abuser, they don't do that. They don't take personal accountability. They're not like, fuck, I shouldn't have screamed at her and called her a bitch, a slut, whatever. And I'm not saying that happened because I wasn't there, but I'm just saying like those are situations where you're basically pushed, and then you react and you're still put into the, oh, it's your fault. You're the problem.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of things that happened, you know, and some of them I just won't go into all the abuse I experienced. I really try to keep most of that to myself. But I mean, even things just, he would be gone to work all day and I would feel like I have to clean because, you know, he gets upset if he doesn't come home to a clean house. And
so you were walking on eggshells all the time.
Oh, all the time. All the time. And he would come home and one time he ran his fingers across the baseboard and yeah.
What?
Like did this like little thing with his fingers, like he was flicking the dust off of it.
I'm just gonna be honest. Real men don't give a fuck about the baseboard being clean. They don't.
Well, to this day, I'm like, if I'm gonna clean the baseboards, because I really want to, like,
because you want to, not for somebody else.
Yeah, it's not something I feel.
Don't look at mine right now.
Yeah, like I hate a baseboard. I hate cleaning a baseboard. So because of that, you know, it's been years of unpacking just the mental and emotional abuse that I went through.
Was there ever like infidelity or anything like that?
Oh, this is fun. Nothing that I could prove, but there were always lots of messages that I would find.
Okay.
That were inappropriate. And
were portions of them ever deleted where you couldn't make sense of it? I'm speaking from experience.
He was real brave. And sometimes I would be like, why didn't you just delete that? But I almost feel like he would then say, well, that's why I didn't. Because I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to hide. Why wouldn't I just delete it then? But I'm like, why are you messaging someone at midnight and saying,
a woman,
hey, are you awake? What are you doing? Are you watching this? Are you watching? You know, like everything was very flirty, even to a point where I would say, well, I don't want you talking to that girl. And then he would tell the girl, Abby doesn't want me talking to you. And then she would message me.
That's triangulating you though.
Yeah. And then she would message me, hey, he said that you don't like me. I just want to let you know, like, it's nothing like that. And it was so embarrassing. Like, that is so embarrassing.
Well, it paints you as like the super jealous girl that can't handle adults being, because you have male friends, which I'm surprised he allowed that for.
Oh, he was gay.
Oh, that's the only, so he didn't want you. So that's really the only reason he was fine with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because we're allies. We don't care. Do your thing. Well, that makes more sense then, because then it wasn't technically like they weren't a threat. But realistically, if anyone...
Oh, he still didn't really like me talking to him because he knew that my friend was like, hey, buddy, I know. I see you.
I see you, bitch. Well, that's what they do, though. Again, how can they control you? So did you feel like being with him directly impacted all of your relationships or a lot of your relationships?
Yes.
Family, friends?
Yes. My family saw, they didn't see all of it, but it got to a point where we couldn't really hide our issues. You know, our issues came up.
Yeah, we're like the people at the party that everyone's like, don't invite them anymore. Because
yeah,
it's
they're
like
going to fight.
Embarrassing.
Yeah. Or he's going to do something. Or, you know, he had made inappropriate comments to my sister before. Like
coming on to her?
No, not coming on to her. Just saying things that's like, you don't say that. Why would you say that? You know?
Yeah.
Definitely my friends were like, this isn't the guy for you. And if you want to continue to be with him, we're going to take a step back from you.
Which sucks because you probably need them. You need people in that.
Yeah.
But it's also understand. I understand.
I don't fault them at all.
No,
I was like so stubborn. Like I was like, y'all are wrong, you know?
Of course.
But I did eventually, I had some friends that came into my life. You'll think this is funny. So one of them, she's still my bestie today. He had seen her at church. She came to visit at church and he made sure to be the one that needed to reach out to her, you know, to encourage her to get more involved in the church.
Get right with Jesus.
Yeah. And, but she is very much a girl's girl and immediately messaged me and was like, hey, just, you know, he's messaging me. And I don't know if you are aware of this or know that he reached out to me at all and sent me a screenshot of everything.
Shout out to her. Wow.
Yes.
Girls. Like, let's give
She's
them a
the
little
one that cut my hair.
Your bestie. Yes. Good. Hell yeah. That's a good friend.
So after that, her and I started becoming friends and we had another friend. Their friendship was part of what helped me open my eyes. But this was years later. You know, there was so much that went on.
And this cycle would just continue. Like he would love bomb you, get you back. He would apologize, do these grandiose things. And then it would get worse each time, right?
Oh, yeah. So much worse. The anger issues definitely presented themselves.
You're allowed to cry.
I'm trying not to.
No, this is so fucking valid. My hope is that when people hear this, they know that they're not crazy. Like you felt crazy for years and you put up with this for years. You're allowed. It's fucking traumatic. You're allowed to cry and you're sexy. I'm glad you didn't say sorry. Did you say sorry?
No, I didn't.
Because you know the rule.
I wasn't allowed.
You know
I wanted to though. But yeah, I mean, I think it was really hard because there were some days where I would just say like, I wish he would just hit me, you know?
Because then it would be valid.
Yes, because then I could show people, you know, what was happening. And he's one of those people that just had a lot of fans in support, you know? And I felt like I can't come out and tell people what's going on, you know? Nobody's going to believe me. And I have no proof. You know, I have no way to prove that this is my life now.
How sad is it, though, that you are in a relationship where you want someone to hit you so that you seem valid?
Yeah.
Again, I'm just so proud of you. And because I know you now, like looking back at that, I'm sure is very, very hard for you. But like you're not that person anymore.
Oh, I'm not.
The fact that you're doing this shows that. Middle finger to the sky. Like
I know, I've never spoken about it. Like,
and you should never have to carry this like it's a secret, because the bottom line is, make no mistake, I don't give a fuck how many fans they have or anybody like this has. That's what they do. They're perfect at doing that. No one actually knows them. The people closest to them typically have relationships like you, or they don't have long-term friendships. You don't have a friend that was like 10, 12 years they've been your friend. It's very rare to find that. You don't have to feel invalidated because these other people see this fake version, this mask that they wear out there.
yeah.
You're completely valid. And I know that you did have some experiences that you ended up having people reach out to you like that person, but like that validated you, that kind of helped you realize it wasn't just you. You weren't the only one that experienced this at this person's hands. And I'm just so fucking proud of you. I hope that this ends up being very like, I don't know, just like cleansing. You don't have anything to be ashamed of. Nobody who's treated like this does, ever. You shouldn't be ashamed. They should be fucking ashamed of themselves.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, you should be ashamed. Treat her like that. What's wrong with you? That's the only shaming I'm going to do. Okay. Anyway, again, I don't want you to talk about anything that you're not comfortable with. So if you said that, you got to that point where that's what you were like, just please, like, let it be valid enough. But what was, I guess, the breaking point for you?
I think there was a few.
Well, sometimes you try and leave. And like you said, you get promised the moon and stars and you've committed all of this. You're in there. You don't want people to be wrong, which that sucks. Like I've been there myself where you're like, no, they're not right. They're not right. I'm just going to stick it out. But you also love them. You love them. And so you're just trying to like continue. So what were the points, like the few points that were really like started breaking that camel's back?
So we would go on lots of trips and the trips were always awful.
So they were ruined.
All the time. The only one that wasn't ruined was California.
Well, that was the first one.
Yeah.
It's warming you up.
But after that, oh my gosh, they were always awful. So the first one was like smacked something in my face in the middle of where we were. And people saw.
Like a public place.
Yes. And some people that saw knew us and
ignored it.
And ignored it. I mean, checked on me quietly, because they were like his pals. Those people are still in my brain. Like,
of course they are.
Like, I don't like you.
You're not my friend.
Yeah.
They're not your friend.
But I walked back, gosh, I don't know how many miles it was from wherever we were back to our hotel. Dark alleyways, because he literally left me there.
You got left? Okay, I've had that happen. Yes. I was going to ask, but I was like, well, I don't want to like assume. But
no, I got left.
Yeah. And it's humiliating too, because you don't want to ask anyone for a ride. So you just fucking walked in the dark by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. We were in a different state, in a popular place, and, probably not the best place to leave your significant other woman in heels.
No
walking
Payless,
back to
no Payless sandals here.
Yeah, no. I was in my heels.
You were out
I was in
and
my
about.
wedges.
That's right. But in an unsafe place. And again,
walking by homeless people. I mean, yeah, we're good. We're good.
You're talking about abandonment issues, but like this all feeds into that. Mm-hmm. It's just like, oh, I'm leaving and I'm not going to tell you when I'm going to talk to you. Oh, I'm just going to leave you here.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Yeah.
People like this do, but you're so deep in it at that point that you don't realize there's something wrong with that. Your family and friends that have relatively healthy relationships, they couldn't even imagine having someone just fucking leave them in the middle of a place you're not even from.
Well, not only that, but again, let me say all of this was transpiring like between like 2011 and 2016. We didn't have Apple Maps on our phones. We didn't have Ubers. Yeah, I would have had to find a taxi. And I'm sorry, I don't want to get a taxi by myself. A woman.
I've had some creepy shit happen in an Uber.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I couldn't just be like, where was this place again? I was roaming around trying to find where to go. And my phone, low battery. I mean, it was just
always
all of the things all together were all happening at once. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not kidding you. A month later, we go back on another trip, same place, different-ish scenario, but always encouraging, right? Like, oh my gosh, let's have fun. The trip was his idea. And then all of a sudden, I'm getting left again. And I'm not crazy. I'm not doing anything crazy. It's not like I'm being inappropriate or doing anything disrespectful. I think he said, are you ready to go? And I said, can I hear one last song? Which, I'm sorry, that's not a normal, like that's a normal request.
Common.
It's a normal request and it shouldn't be made into a big deal. So if you're in this kind of relationship and you are listening to this, I want you to know like that's not something that should be made into a massive, explosive argument.
And someone abandoning you at a place as a woman by yourself.
Again.
That's crazy.
Again. I'm just saying.
You didn't even want to go on trips, I bet, after that.
No, I think we went on another one and I don't remember what we fought about that time, but I mean, that was maybe 3 months after that. These things kept escalating, right? Fast forward to maybe a few months after that, I wanted to go to this conference. Also, mind you, during this time, we had tried to go to counseling more than once. One time he literally left me at the counselor's office by myself. I sat there for the entire hour with the counselor staring at me going, so is he going to come? And by the end, I was just sitting there crying because I was so embarrassed that he never even showed up.
Were you scared to tell the counselor
what was happening?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, definitely. I didn't open up at that point.
So I've realized now when you go to counseling for those things, especially if it's someone like this, the relationship is what they're trying to fix. And I won't say much, but basically I had similar experiences with counselors, and or he would want to see them first before I would go. I would go in not knowing what was said about me, but we had experiences where if the counselor actually saw him for what he was, which was one time, called her every name in the book, and then basically said, refused to go back to that counselor. Know that if you're going to counseling for that, sometimes it's better to just get individualized counseling if you even assume that your ex is like this, because the counselors are doing their job and they're treating the relationship. They don't always see it. And like you just admitted, and I can say, I was scared to admit everything because I was worried he would get in trouble, or like depending on their job, they can get in trouble. It would make them look bad. And that was never what I was aiming to do. And when I was honest, we immediately couldn't see that counselor anymore.
Yeah. This is kind of crazy too. And again, now looking back, I think the counselor probably knew and was playing into whatever he was saying. But eventually we did go to counseling together, and what I thought at the time, convinced the counselor that I was crazy and that I needed individual counseling. And so the counselor said, okay, I think I'll see her individually. And so at the time I was like, wow, screw you.
Fuck this counselor.
Yeah, like, you think I'm crazy? Like, he's a liar.
You're not even good at this.
Yeah, no, I'm like, you're the worst. But now looking back, I think the counselor knew
to get you alone.
Yes, and was trying to get me alone, and didn't immediately say, you're being abused. He was just, okay, let's talk through whatever. He was wonderful. I loved him. And then he recommended to me, I think you should go to this program. It's called Celebrate Recovery, and it's for anybody. Anybody with hurts, habits, or hangups is what they say. So I started going there, and I got put into the codependency group. I struggle with codependency. That's how I got into this relationship.
Which is exactly why you were in a relationship like this.
Yes, exactly. And so that really was a lifesaver for me. That, and the friends that I had made that I slowly started opening up to, and they told me this isn't normal.
So you were scared to tell people what he was doing and how he was treating you.
Yes.
So your truth was never really spoken. And then you finally found like that trust, and you didn't want to make him look bad, I assume.
I didn't want to make him look bad. I was afraid what people would think. I was afraid people wouldn't believe me. And that really, oh my gosh, that weight of, I'm going to say something to somebody that's the most horrendous thing that has ever happened to me, that I am going through every single day. And if that person looks back at me and says, I don't believe you, I couldn't bear that thought of somebody telling me it wasn't true, because I was fighting through it for a year and a half of the height of the abuse. Happened to me almost every single day for a year and a half. And I am a woman of faith. And I was on my knees every day praying, asking God to change the situation. And so I just thought, how can I carry all this pain? And I look at somebody and tell them, this is happening to me. And they just go, that's probably not true. That, I think, was scarier to me than anything else.
Well, I believe you. And you're seen, and it's real, and it's fucked up.
Yeah. During all those trips and everything, I was going to counseling. I was going to the group program, and I had a mentor, and I slowly started opening up to her. And eventually she looked at me and she said, I know that you really want to try to make this work. And she said, but I think you're at the end here, and it's okay if you can't do it anymore. And after that, I just knew, like, I had to get out.
So someone else pointed it out to you.
Yeah, it was
after obviously getting
the two friends and then that mentor that I had. And it was really the sentence that my two friends said, where they looked at me and said, this is not normal. And then my mentor almost giving me permission. Not that I needed permission from anybody, but just, it's okay. It's okay if you can't live like this. It's okay if you can't stay. It was really hard.
I'm so glad you had those people in your life.
Me too. I'm so grateful for them.
Some people don't, and they end up in this situation permanently.
Yeah.
abuse doesn't just stop. Somebody doesn't just get better. There takes a lot of work to be a quote better person. And in these situations, again, if we're talking about someone who is narcissist or similar to that, they don't change, they don't get help, and it gets progressively worse. And just because someone isn't always physically violent in the beginning doesn't mean that part of it. There's a lot of things that come along with it. Boundary crossings, physically, sexually, all types of different things that can happen to all types of different people. I've heard so many scenarios. Yeah. I've experienced my own scenarios. So to know that you had support and that was really like the turning point for you, I'm just so grateful that you had those people. And I'm getting chills. I cannot express how proud I am of you and of those women for telling you the truth, because the other thing that they had, which is scary on the other end of supporting a friend who's being abused, is that you know that now they know and you pull away and you're not their friend anymore, because that happens too.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They were there, ride or dies.
Cutting my hair.
That's right. Fuck yeah. She's still here today giving you home haircuts. Get you one of those. So that was the turning point. Then you had your escape plan. What did that look like?
Oh, right. So the very last thing, I think, they put those seeds into my mind and I was like, okay, I got to get out. I wanted to go to a conference. One of my friends and we had been invited to go to this conference in Dallas, and oh my gosh, he made it the worst. It was awful. Like, we went and I loved the conference. I loved every second of it. And of course, it's one of those things that was like for me and to make me a better leader in what I was doing. And
can't have that.
Yeah. He's like, oh, you're bettering yourself? I don't think so.
Gross.
Get back in the closet.
Where you cry, where you belong. Don't want me to send you back to the basement. Call your sister. Oh, gosh. Just kidding. Come back. I love you so much. Here's some tickets. Here's some tickets to Paris. Let me go fuck up the Eiffel Tower with you.
I should stay a little longer so I could go in Paris.
Shut the fuck up. We do not. She doesn't believe that.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding, y'all. I'm kidding.
Joke.
I'm trying to make myself laugh so I can stop crying, because what is this? Tears. So anyways, we went to that conference. It was horrible. My friend's looking at me like, dude,
see, this is what I'm talking about.
He's crazy, like, and I'm like, okay, I have to leave. So at this conference, I went into this bookstore and I was like, let me try, one last thing. I'm gonna try one last thing. And there was like this husband and wife couples working things together. Like, let's try that. And it was like Valentine's Day or something. When I was going to get back, I was like, okay, in a few days, it's Valentine's Day. I'm going to gift us this couple's book and let's see if we can work through this. He like pulls out the book and is like, you expect me to do this? I mean, it was just like this really nasty reaction. And I'm like, I'm trying
everything
to work through this relationship with you. And you're like, ew, So at that point, I mean, you tell me everything I need to know. Like, you're not going to try, right? One day he went to work and I'm like telling my best friends, I'm like, I'm going to get out. Today's the day. I'm getting out. I'm finding the biggest suitcase I have. I'm packing it up. I'm going to put it in the middle of the living room floor. I'm going to be sitting here. And I told him, this is crazy. I had to text him and be like, pen me into your day. When you get home, we're talking. Because I knew if I tried to talk to him, there's going to be something, he was going to avoid it 100%.
Yeah.
I just wasn't important. There was always something work. There was always something, so-and-so needs me, this and that, whatever. He was going to avoid me. So I told him, when you get home, we're talking. What time are you getting home? Put me on your calendar. Physically put me on your calendar, because you're not getting out of this conversation. And I was like, one last chance. Like, my suitcase
You were
is
still
here.
ready. But you were
on the floor.
But you were ready to leave mentally at that time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
so it was like, this is it. Last chance.
Like, are you going to try to work through this?
Because you wanted it to work and you still at that time probably loved him. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, of course. Again, and I was committed. Like, I was like, I'm really in this. I'm really in this with you. What can we do? So I did all that. He gets home, tries to avoid the conversation immediately. Like, I just worked all day. You're gonna. I mean, it's like this big old thing. So it's already escalating. I just told him, I said, if you don't sit down and have this conversation with me, I'm leaving. I am leaving. And he went, you'll be back in an hour.
What?
Maybe he said hour and a half, but it was still like a scoffed.
Plot twist,
Yeah.
bitch. I ain't coming back.
Guess what? It's been years.
Yeah.
So at that moment, I was like, that's what you think about me. That is what you think of me.
Yeah. And that's what he made you believe about you.
100%.
Which is so fucked. You didn't even know you. You couldn't trust you anymore.
Yeah.
You were so far off of that person that you are, that beautiful, kind, strong, vivacious, loving life individual. You were not that.
Yeah. Thank you.
You are now. And you have been this whole time. It's just when you're forced to live in a relationship where their sense of reality becomes your reality, even if it isn't, they paint you as the villain, the bad guy, the abusive one. All of those things happen. And in your heart, you're saying, this isn't who I am. Why? But then there's moments, like you said, where you might act out of character that are thrown in your face consistently, or you're gaslit and they're doing those things to you and you're being blamed. I say this inner voice is meant to keep you safe, right? Everyone has this inner voice, or most people do. And if you don't, you're probably one of those people. But when you have that inner voice, it's there to protect you. When I was in a position where I was dealing with someone like this, it made me push that voice so far down I couldn't hear her anymore. She didn't come back for a long time. I had to work at listening for her. And now I never ignore her because she's there to keep me safe always. Yeah. But she was the one that would whisper, you're not that person. You're not the bad guy. You're
This
not.
isn't you.
And I would shut up. No, he's right. He's right. No, it must be this because he loves me. It's all bullshit. I don't give a fuck if they're narcissistic or not. If you're in a relationship where all of the worst things are being brought out of you, that is not the person you're supposed to be with. I really encourage you to get help for yourself just to know it's not you, because sometimes you need some guidance, but then also don't be with a fucking person like that. If they bring out the worst in you, you guys are not meant to be together, period. No fixing it or trying to make it work, taking the fucking square, putting it in the circle hole. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
So just cut your fucking losses, move on. And Abby and I are both perfect examples of there are incredible people out there that are worthy of all that we got to offer. I don't know. I had to go on my little squirrel moment for a minute, but so you took your suitcase, you left, you didn't go back in an hour.
No, I did not. I did not go back. And the plan was I leave and my friends knew I was going to try to have this conversation and I might end up at one of your houses. And we had planned whose house it was going to be. They knew around what time I was going to have the conversation. Also, in case
something happened, which could.
They knew within a certain amount of time they needed to come check on me. I mean, all the things. I start driving to the meeting point, my friend's house, and I was trying to call the other friend. I'm like, why is she not picking up? And she texted me and she said, he called me. I'm on the phone with him now. She said, I am entertaining the conversation because I want to hear what he says.
Flying monkeys. He's already calling everybody to fucking
my best
poison
friend.
the well.
The same one he had messaged to be like,
hey girl,
hey, what's up?
You want to get right with
church on Sunday?
You want to get right with Jesus? I got something you can pray. Just
yeah.
No.
Yes.
Of course he did. Instantly poison the well, because then you have no choice but to crawl back, right?
Right.
Fucking A, man. God, you guys are so predictable.
Yeah.
Good thing we know what they are now.
Yes, now.
And if you didn't and you're listening to this, you do now.
Yes.
So it's fucking cat's out of the bag. We told all your secrets.
Yeah.
You went to her house. I know you probably played it out a million times before he even got there, but I feel like the ultimate discard is them acting like you're nothing and it doesn't matter and you'll just be back. More than them yelling or screaming, because at least there's some emotion there. Did you feel like that was just the ultimate, you mean nothing? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't think if I hadn't gone through the counseling, which shout out to him for
letting you
making the counselor think
you were crazy.
Think I was crazy, quote unquote, and forcing me to go to individual counseling because I'm nuts.
He literally handed you the keys to your fucking freedom, your sanity.
Yeah.
Thanks,
so
guy.
Looking back, so grateful for you.
Way to go, Arthur.
Shout out to you.
Lord.
Yeah. But I think, at that point I had gone through all that counseling and everything. And I had a little bit of myself back, not fully, because trust me, it took me a while. It was in full view at that point. I saw the monster.
Yeah.
For who he was. And I saw who he thought I was.
Right.
And
you were like, you're wrong.
Yeah. I was like, I will not be made to feel this small for the rest of my life. I'm not doing it.
I'm just beaming with pride. Beaming. It's ultimate. So the leaving part is the biggest part. But I do want people to know that just because you leave doesn't mean, like I mentioned, the chemicals that are in your brain are actually you're basically addicted to the behavior and the treatment, which is so sick and fucked up, but it's true. You struggled for quite a while.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Mentally with this. And like, what did that time frame look like? Did he try to get you back, or was he strictly on like the flying monkeys and poisoning the well and trying to turn people against you? Was it a mixture of all of it? Like, what did that look like for the next X amount of time?
Definitely a mixed bag. Lots of flying monkeys. And then it stopped, right? And it turned into leaving gifts on the porch, because I had gone to be back with my parents. Leaving gifts on the porch, leaving gifts at my job, showing up at my job, and I was like,
who's creepy now?
Get away from me.
Yeah.
Who's creepy now? Basement boy.
But that's a boundary crossing.
Yeah.
And in a way, it's also him showing you that he can go anywhere and show up anywhere, which is scary. Actually.
Oh, yeah. Because then at that point, it was like, you're mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of gift lavishing. And eventually, I personally, I didn't handle the pain well, because it was kind of like when I left, it was like, woohoo, I had this like adrenaline rush, like I'm out. And I wasn't prepared mentally for what my brain would go through next. And then him showing up places, we had a lot of the same friends. People were coming to me like, what could possibly have been so bad? Like, y'all are like the perfect couple. What could have possibly gone wrong? Can't you just work this out? Come on. Like, we're really rooting for you guys. It was way too much for me.
Well, that's all they have is the facade they put out for others.
100%,
and that's usually not what's happening at all. But they're more willing to pretend with everyone else, and like they did with you in the beginning to get you in, and treat all these other people amazing. So it's almost impossible for people that don't know them to imagine them. Why wouldn't it work out? They seem so perfect. Y'all were perfect. You met at church and a swivel chair was involved. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So
Swivel chair.
You made it through all of that, right? And again, it's not an overnight thing. When you're a normal person, you don't just jump into the next relationship, which a lot of times people like this need something, because otherwise they don't get their fuel that they need. They need it in order to be functional. Like we need food, they need narcissistic fuel. You say you didn't handle it well, but I truly believe that you just handled it like a normal person would that was just mentally abused for several years. I don't think there's one way. The fact that you already had counselors and you were in counseling is huge. That's a massive part of doing that.
And I will say too, that there was a time where I got into another toxic relationship, another abusive relationship. And that's also something that can happen with somebody that goes through an abusive relationship. There's sometimes you get into another one, right? If you don't heal in the right ways. And I did for a time. I went to counseling after I left, and then I stopped. And it was really so hard for me to just say, this is what happened to me, and really face that reality over and over again to try to heal from it initially. And that one for me, I was like, okay, eventually I hit rock bottom, I leave, and I start to pick up the pieces. Okay. And I recognize I did that because I have zero self-worth at this point. If somebody could hurt me that bad, all that pain that I felt, maybe I am worth nothing. So even though initially I believed so much about myself, when I left, I fell back into those patterns of thinking I didn't deserve much more.
And you attracted someone that saw that.
Yeah.
That you didn't value yourself.
Yeah.
In my experience, all the shit that was done, it wasn't anything compared to me forgetting who the fuck I was. Because who the fuck I am is this strong, incredible human being, not this monstrous, aggressive, mean, abusive human being that's not worth a fuck. Like, all of the things that I was told I was, it took me years to find. It probably took me 4 or 5 years to feel normal. And I think that's what frustrated me the most, is that I lost me. Because getting you back, you have to live with you forever.
Yeah.
And not believing in yourself, like you said, it attracted the wrong type of people again. It feels comfortable. You think that's all you're worth, so you tolerate shit, and it's comfortable. It's crazy and fucked up that toxic, even if you like grow up in a home that has 2 parents and maybe they have a toxic relationship, you still are attracted to it, even though you hate it.
Yeah.
Because it's comfortable for you.
Yeah.
Real, healthy, normal boundaries and relationships, you're like, what the fuck is this? Why? This is weird. I don't, or you're expecting it to turn into that at any fucking moment.
Yeah.
And so that naive person, that young girl that you were, like, that shit was all ripped away from you. Mm-hmm. And you were dealing with the aftermath of this. Like I said, it's not just, oh, the relationship's over, it's good now. You had to do all of this work to get there. And so obviously counseling was a huge part of it. Mm-hmm. You hit a bottom with this relationship and you were like, all right, now I really have to pick up the pieces. And tell me if you felt like this or not. There was a point at which I was angry and I was like, I can't wait till they get what they deserve. Like, I can't wait till everyone sees them for what they are.
Yeah.
And I read this book, and I do still encourage people to read it, but I really like to give like certain things. So on top of this, because we're not professionals, I encourage you to get counseling therapy, specifically with people that deal with abusive relationships, individually, not with that person. Mm-hmm. But then I also encourage you to read this book. It's called Becoming the Narcissist's Worst Nightmare. I'll put it on my blog because I don't remember the author. And I was like reading it like, yes, at the end, they're going to tell me how I'm the worst nightmare. And I'm going to be like, fuck you, you know, like, and I'm going to get back at him. Spoiler alert. The end of the book basically tells you the best way to get back at a narcissist or someone like them is to live a happy life. That's really what it is. Mm-hmm. And it pissed me off when I got to the end because I was in that angry part because it's a grieving process still where I was like I was stuck in that anger. And then I'm like, I don't need anyone else to validate me. I don't need that. And this book did. This book validated me. They were talking about scenarios. They were talking about my life. Yeah. And in the last several years of my life, I have watched a lot of things where I'm like, holy shit, this is my story, just different people, different names. And that is validating. Mm-hmm. And you may not find that with other people, but do not get discouraged. Like you said, you were scared to tell people because you're worried you weren't going to be believed. You know what happened. It happened. And that is your truth. And that is more powerful than anything else.
Yeah.
So you found counseling was big for you to get over this. You hit your rock bottom. What picked you back up and got you where you needed to be?
My parents, my family. My gosh. I'm so blessed to have like a really supportive family. And I know it must have been painful for them to watch me navigating my own healing journey and not always in the best ways. And I know it was hard for them, but my family and my church community, when I decided to come back, because I had left. I mean, I didn't want to be in New Braunfels.
Well, obviously you didn't want to see him either because he was such a huge part of the church, right?
Yeah. And
did he eventually leave?
Yes.
Hallelujah. Thank Jesus. A little 6 pound, 8 ounce baby Jesus all wrapped in swaddling. There are miracles.
Yeah.
He went to a different church.
Yeah. And then
he's haunting another
then left
church.
that one.
Okay. It's a pattern.
Yes, it is. It is a pattern. But yeah, so I had left New Braunfels, went to go live next to my grandparents. And that was really, I mean, honestly, looking back, that was a gift too, right? But there was things I went through and I'm just really grateful. I had my family, and whenever I was ready and I called my dad and I said, I want to come home. Him and my cousin and my oldest nephew, who's only 8 years apart from me, so he was already like in his late 20s, they came to pick me up. They came and picked me up where I was at and brought a trailer, and we moved me back home. And I kind of came with my tail between my legs, like, I'm moving back with my parents. I really leaned into my community at that point. My friends were waiting for me with open arms too. You know, hey, welcome back. You ready now? You okay?
We're not going to say we were right, but
yeah, exactly. Like, are you
gently,
ready?
gently,
like, you got to face
you.
this.
Yeah,
you have to face it, because I really was on like a high after I left, and like, oh my gosh, everything's going to be great now because I got away. But it's not great.
It's traumatic.
Just because you leave. Guess what? It's still there. All the pain is still there, and you have to face it. And for me, it was so uncomfortable that I was like, no thanks. I've already actually lived it. And so I'm not going to just continue to process it because I already lived it. And so I would rather not continue to talk about it and just continue to relive those moments and heal from it. Sounds horrible.
That's crazy talk. He was right. I'm crazy.
Yeah, I actually am crazy. Yeah. But yeah, so it took me a minute. And now I tell people, don't stop going to counseling. Like, if you are getting out of a relationship like this, don't do what I did. Go to counseling, lean in, let people in that you trust. Those people that supported you through that, like, let them stay.
And be aware that there are going to be people that whole flying monkey scenario where they're talking about you, or they have all these people in the community that love them. They may turn on you. They may believe this person. Those aren't your people.
No.
And don't think that it's you. It's not you. If they're that quick to drink the fucking Kool-Aid about that,
Bye.
they don't know you anyway. And
Yeah.
they're not worthy of your friendship, your love. That includes family sometimes. Sometimes your family will do that. You were fortunate. You did not have that with your family.
Yeah.
Grateful for your family and your friends too. And just, again, seeing the amazingness that you are. And I know we already touched on it, but like, you're not broken, because anytime that you felt like you were, even in those moments, you picked up all the pieces and you put it back together, like that beautiful Japanese art, pieced it all together with the gold. That's what you are. And you're even more beautiful, and you're more prepared for hard things in the world. And you help people because you've been hurt. You don't hurt people because you've been hurt.
Yeah.
You're the complete opposite of everything that he wanted to do to you.
Yeah.
And I'm just super proud.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'm very proud of you to open up about it.
Yeah.
Because I think that this can be what that book was for me. I think this can be something like that for someone who's enduring this.
Yeah. My experience has been validated since. You doubt yourself too. And that's all part of the trauma. You know, you doubt your experience. Did I actually experience it the way I think I experienced it? The flying monkeys thing, it gets in your head.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh, and I'm sure that it was used during a relationship. Like, this person thinks this about you, and this person, and you're like, they've never acted, even people close to you. And it isolates you further, where you don't want to talk to them. So you just pull inward when you really need help and you need to be able to talk to people.
Yeah.
But that came. And so let's hear the plot twist of your life, because this person didn't believe in you, didn't want you to, reach your goals. You probably thought you were never going to meet Prince Charming and, never have the babies and all of that. What's the fucking plot twist now? Tell us, how does this end?
I am going to cry again.
But happy tears. This is happy tears.
I am married to the most amazing human being that I have ever met in my entire life. My husband.
Oh.
And we have 6 beautiful children. We are a beautifully blended family. And he's just, he would never freak out if I needed to go get sandals
From Payless. He'd be like, affordable, let's go. I've already got 3 pairs I got for you right here, honey.
Plot twist, Payless is closed.
Plot twist, you meant Amazon now. Laugh so we don't cry.
Yeah, but he would. I mean, there are times where I know I'm doing this at the last second or the last minute, and I think about Sandals Day.
I bet you do.
I think about Sandals Day, and I'm like, wow, that wasn't a normal experience. And I think for a while I questioned just if I would have planned better. That day could have gone differently. I should have bought the sandals a week before.
You blamed yourself.
100%, and I'm just saying the sandals experience, but it was so much. It was so much of that relationship that I questioned things. And now that I'm in a healthy relationship, I realize that that's just humanity. It's okay.
You forget shit.
You procrastinate.
Yeah.
You procrastinate, and your partner doesn't make you feel bad for it. I mean, my husband might joke with me about it, like, oh, you're going to buy stuff at the last second again, or things like that. But it's something that we just laugh about. It's not something where he freaks out and starts throwing my clothes at my car. So
no. And just, you have moved on truly though with your life. I know that sometimes it's hard because you may potentially see another, like that person, especially early, move on and you're like, oh, they're happy now. Or, oh, they're in a great relationship now. I promise you, give it a few years, give it a few months, give it a few years. And then before you know it, that relationship doesn't work for X reason.
Over.
And then the next one, and that doesn't work for this reason or that reason. I've done it myself. Sometimes you try to warn the people. I always thought back to what I have believed it, and I wouldn't have, because when you're being manipulated so heavily and you're so in love, you're essentially brainwashed by a person. They won't believe you. That doesn't mean you shouldn't try. I'm just going to let you know though, that isn't on you. And because I felt guilt, I always wanted to be a woman's woman. I am. And warning people about someone who is preying upon them, that is a horrible person, that's abusive. You want to do that. But for anyone out there that ever I know we talked about it and you said you felt guilty. You should never carry guilt like that. It's not anybody's fault except that person doing it.
Yeah.
And all you can do is give them the gift of validation if and when they ever come to you and ask. And I'm sure at some point they will.
Yeah.
Now that you're in a healthy relationship with a hot ass husband, that's what you say, not me. He's your hot ass husband, and beautiful, beautiful kiddos. And you are a pillar of this community.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't say that.
I think you are. You're like very like behind the scenes, but you do so much for so many people. Everyone is always, every time we talk about Abby in multiple friends groups, I'm always hearing like, oh my gosh, Abby, she's so amazing. She's so sweet. She's so funny. You're fucking hilarious. You and I laugh. And I have if I say you're funny, that's really
a good joke.
That's real funny. That's real funny. And we're trauma bonded in the best way, definitely. Not in the fucked up way, in the good way. Is there any last thing that you would say or suggest to anyone that's dealing with this that maybe we haven't covered already?
What I will say is this. I have looked at somebody before that was going through an experience, like they were still in it. They were still in the thick of it and started opening up and everything. And I just looked at them and I said, if I had to go through what I went through just to help you right now in this moment, it was worth it. And what I went through was hard. It was hard. It was really, really painful. This is my story. This is about him in any capacity. This is about me and what I went through and what I overcame, even though I didn't overcome it in the most perfect way at first. You also don't get to use that against me. So how you heal afterwards, like nobody can use that against you. There is no playbook for how you get through this, but lean into your support. Lean into the people that you have that are supporting you, that you can trust. You're not alone. They love to isolate you. They love to make you feel like nobody's going to listen to you.
Nobody will believe you.
Nobody will believe you. You're not smart.
I don't even hate you.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Yes. Yeah.
So what you've done, which is literally what this entire podcast is about, is finding the light in the darkness and finding purpose in the shittiest thing that's happened to you, or one of the shittiest things. And that is where your power lies. That's where everybody's power lies.
Yeah.
Your fucked up has a purpose if you allow it. And if you can even help one individual, which I am 100% sure that will happen with this. And you've even like validated me with your story. So you keep fucking shining, baby. But if you're in the darkness right now of this, or in something similar to this, and you can't see the light, let us be that little light for you that you can see, because I promise there is a life after that. You can get out of it. You do not have to fucking stay. And again, spoiler alert, her and I have amazing men that we're with. We have healthy relationships. I'm weird and toxic sometimes because I'm like, this is too good. Why are you nice to me, baby boy?
Why aren't you yelling?
Why are you asking me how I'm feeling and how was my day? What the fuck? Fuck yeah. I'm proud of you. I love you. You're a strong ass bitch. You're a baddie. Your kids have an incredible, inspirational person to look up to. Keep doing what you're doing and becoming narcissist's worst nightmare, Arthur's worst nightmare, because you are living your happiest, best life. And let's end this the right way. We're going to go high five.
High five.
I say still alive, and then you do your evil laugh.
I'll do my best.
Okay, go. I peed a little.